Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening to Mr. ROOBAN Armugam, the CEO of inspire.my. Madam Rosemary, welcome to everyone for joining. I'm Madam Nirmala from Sabah. I'm your moderator of today's session. It's indeed a great pleasure to meet all of you today on our second day on learning about more intensive learning about Quizalize tips and tricks in day two. Before I introduce the speaker of today, I would like to give an announcement that for our viewers today. First of all, please kindly have an attempt to post about our event using hashtag Quizalize Week in Malaysia, hashtag inspire my, hashtag be unique, and write about what you have learned from today's webinar. All right, you may take note of the information, you may take a selfie, you may take pictures, screenshots, and then post on FB and also on Twitter. All right, so in shortly, Madam Rosemary Sison will tell further about the giveaways that we are going to give today, which will be very attractive. So don't miss this opportunity. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the speaker of today's session, that is Madam Rosemary Sison. She's a teacher by profession with almost 8 years of teaching experience. She is a passionate teacher who is very dedicated in sharing knowledge to people, especially when teaching and learning is concerned. She's also an EdTech advocate and a proud mother of two girls. At the moment, she is with Ziz and Quizalize for almost 4 years now. She started as schools engagement executive in 2016 and became the country manager in the Philippines after a couple of years. And just recently became the SE Asia Customer Success Manager. She's in charge of helping educators all over the Southeast Asia to get fully equipped with Ziz and Quizalize. And now I would like to welcome Madam Rosemary Sison to continue the session and tell about the giveaways and also about the hashtags. Welcome, Madam Rosemary. I hand over to you.
And thank you, Madam Nirmala. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And to everyone, Vanakam, Salamat Pitang to all Malaysian people. I think I am fluent now is talking about or speaking about the greetings. And I'd like to say hello before I go on or before I start rather to when Bang Bang. Sorry about that. Nawal. I see your name since before we start, so I really appreciate your effort to be with us today, people. And I hope there are also some, other educators there from different parts of the world, especially Filipino educators or educators from the Philippines. Again, welcome to day two of our Quizalize in Malaysia webinar series. This today's topic is about tips and tricks. So, as mentioned by Madam Nirmala, I'll be giving out or I will give away some prizes to those people will able to follow correctly the mechanics. All right, that I'm going to share with you now. You have to do it correctly, and again, the most special part of this activity is for us to know the things that you have learned from today's session. All right. So here are the mechanics. You can picture or you can screenshot or take a photo of this mechanic so you can follow it correctly. And the first thing that you have to do is you have to sign up to zish.com for free. Don't worry, you can sign up to Zish and Quizalize for free. So just go to zish.com and sign up, okay, for free. And another one is you have to take a photo or selfie with me. Well, it's too early now, but I hope at the end of this session, you will take a photo with me. And you have to post this photo on your social media accounts like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram with the correct hashtag Quizalize in Malaysia, with the hashtag also inspire.my, together with what you have learned from today's lesson or session rather. So you can see, for example, I've learned that Quizalize is not just for gamified activity, okay? And then followed by the hashtags. These hashtags, by the way, you have to correctly post the hashtag like this way as is, meaning wrong spelling might not able to be part of the entry, okay? And the best learned message again, The best learned message with correct hashtags will get a chance to win $50. Okay, so we will be getting two people. We will choose the best message of what you have learned today together with the correct hashtags. Okay, and of course, you have to complete all these mechanics, and two of you will get a chance to win $50 straight from Zish and Quizalize. Okay, so if you don't want to miss this out, please you can take a photo of this now. All right, so I'll count 1 to 5 to give everyone a chance to take a photo of this. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, you must follow correctly the given mechanics. Sign up to Zish.com for free. For me to know that you have signed up successfully, could you send me a message, say hi, all right, or I'm watching a live session on with inspire.my or anything that could let me know that you are right now with us for this session, all right? So again, taking a photo or a selfie is not now, all right? So you have to be with me for you to, of course, understand the topics for today. And the selfie is expected to be done at the very end of the session, all right? Of course, we have or the entry, the submission of entry is only up until 9 p.m. I believe it's only up until 9 p.m. Again, the best learned message with correct hashtags posted to all of the social medias mentioned here, like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, will get a chance to win $50, the best one. All right, good luck, everyone. But most of all, I really wanted you to learn, more about Zish and Quizalize. Okay. Moving on, again, you have to sign up for free today. Go to www.zish.com. All right, for today's session, guys, this session is more of giving the audience additional knowledge on some of the advanced features of Zish and Quizalize, okay? They might be advanced features, but I'm telling you, they are, the platform itself is a user-friendly. So you can able to easily follow everything that we will cover today. Before we move on, let me again introduce myself, although I have already introduced my Madam Nirmala, just a quick one. My name is Rosemary Season, and I am a passionate teacher. Season, so that's Season, not Sison. All right, I love it. I love the way she pronounced the surname Sison. All right, but that's Season, and I'm a passionate teacher by background. I am a teacher like you guys, so I do understand the challenges that you're facing as a teacher. Okay, in terms of teaching your students and giving a quality education to them, especially these days that we are experiencing this pandemic, and distance learning is highly recommended. I am also an edtech advocate. Now, just a quick overview. Zish and Quizalize overview. Quizalize is powered by Zish. That's why I hope you will not get confused when I said earlier that welcome to Quizalize tips and tricks, and then you hear me saying that you have to go to zish.com for you to be able to be a registered user. So do not get confused, because these two are part of um, a one company only, or these two names, the Quizalize and Zish, fall in one company only. And this is a British edtech company that provides proven effective in achieving a lot of success in teaching by creating engaging, formative, summative assessment, driving instructions through differentiation, tracking student mastery of standards, and more. So I hope there are people from yesterday who attended yesterday the session, all right? So the session yesterday was very comprehensive, I believe, because I gave all the major, things that you could enjoy with Zish and Quizalize. And today is addition to what you can enjoy, or the beneficial impact that you could enjoy for the teaching and learning. Okay, so three main core products. We have Quizalize, where teachers create personalized or even standardized activity. This is also the place of the system where students will answer their activity online. Okay, there are two versions of this product. We do have the online, that could provide a real-time analytic data for you teachers to easily identify, the learning gaps, of your students in terms of academic. There is also the offline. When you use the offline, you could get those analytics in real time, meaning once you just synchronize the captured data to your online account, then that's the time that you could only get the analytic data. We also have the Zishab. Zishab is a part of the system where teachers get all those informations that she or he needs to analyze the students' performance, the academic performance of the students. And Zish Insights, if there are people here with us today, heads of the school, department heads, or district heads, okay, Zish Insights is another part of the system that is designed for you guys, okay? Because from this system, you could able to get in real time those analytic data consolidated already for you, okay? This could help you to understand, specifically as to how you can help your teachers, help their students, and a lot more. Now, let's move on to the first part of the session. So, yesterday, I highlighted the benefits of the mastery and the grade book. Just in case you wanted to preview that, you can always go back to inspire.my. It's just yesterday. It is there, and the title of it is Quizalize Mastery versus the Grade Book. So you could get a lot of information, especially with the use of the grade book and the mastery. Okay, so today in this part, we will learn more from these tips and be a Quizalize expert. Okay, using these tips that I'll be giving out. Okay, you could be a Quizalize expert. Now, let's start the tips from creating classes. Actually, from the major features that I've shared yesterday, there are still some of the advanced features that you could still use to give, different varieties for your students, so they won't get bored, of the tools that you're using, for them to also get engaged even more when you give them assessment or giving them activity. Okay, so creating class, we have actually two options. We have the regular classes. The regular classes is when you use this to give students varieties on how they will access the class and answer the activities. What does that mean? That means to say that Quizalize is not just equivalent to class code, okay? Because there are other options that you can use when you are creating classes. What are those? So when you go to your Zish and Quizalize account, just in case you are not yet a Zish and Quizalize user, again, as I mentioned in the mechanics, you have to sign up. It's free anyway, okay? And then you can click the create or add a new class, and there you could find the create a new class tab and the other options sync with your Google Classroom. Now, these are the varieties when you are creating regular classes. When we say regular classes, we are referring to the classes that you created with just Zish, meaning you are not synchronizing that class from your Google Classroom. You are just creating a regular class from your Zish account. Okay, so these are the options. Number one, by entering the class code into zzi.sh. So this is one of the options that you could use when you are creating a class on Zish. Okay, so be reminded that when you set this up, this is unchangeable. Meaning, once you have set a class, when you created the class, once you have set the specific settings, and that is the usual way or the normal way for your students to access your class and how they are going to access your activity. Okay, so if you want to give your students different ways on accessing their class and accessing their activities, you have to create new classes and use the other settings. Okay. Another one is registering their own Zish account with email and password. I will highlight it with email and password. The question is, do they need to have a legit or a real email account, especially the younger ones, no need. Okay. This is just like a username, but in the form of email address, meaning you can uniform, you can make the username uniform for your student. If you wanted, for example, to use at school.com, then you can do that. You just have to give your students instructions on how they are going to enter, or what type or what kind or what format, in what format the username will be. Now, the second option is quite good because this is more secured than the first one. Okay, because the first one could trigger, the some of the not good behavior on the part of the students. Like, for example, there are cases like when the students enter the class with just the class code, what happened was this student entered, the other class name. For example, my name is Rose, and I see, John, for example, name in the class, and I simply top it, and I can able to access, the activity. That means to say that John is now answering the activity on behalf of Rose. So at some point, I do not recommend the use of just the class code. I think the second option is much better than the first one, especially now that we are on a distance learning. Okay. Um, so yes, again, this doesn't need your students to have a legit email account, all right? So this is just in the form of email, not a real email, but it's like a username, but they need to create a password, okay? So that is another option for Zish regular classes. Now, there is the third one, using their Google account. For example, if you are teaching higher grades, for example, and they are allowed to have a legit email account, then you can also set your class using the third option, which is using their Google account or using their Microsoft or Office 365 account. Again, just a reminder, once you have chosen a specific setting for your class, that is unchangeable, meaning every time you assign the activity to that class with that specific settings, that is the usual way your students can able to access your class and answer the activity as well. So if you want to again give them other options, then you must create another class using the other preference. All right. So these options are located when you create a new class, or tap the create a new class on Zish and Quizalize, and it will be, or there is a question mark. Students will join activities, and there, when you click the drop down button, you will see all the options. Okay, another is using your Google Classroom. Let your student access activities through their Google Classroom account. If you are currently using Google Classroom and you want to maximize the use of Zish and Quizalize, then just simply synchronize your Google classes to Zish and Quizalize. A lot of advantage when you do that because, as I mentioned, as earlier mentioned, Zish and Quizalize provides analytic data. For those Zish and Quizalize users already, I know you are aware of what I am trying to say when I say about or mention about the analytic data. But for the new ones, you can check out the yesterday's session, and there you could able to appreciate, what I meant about the analytic data. Otherwise, you go to our chat support. When you go to zish.com, there is a chat support there. You can anytime approach us, okay, and ask about anything that you may wanted to know more about Zish and Quizalize. Let's go back to the second option, which is the Google Classroom. It is located there. So just next to the create a new class, there is a sync with Google Classroom. Okay, so of course, if you wanted to use the second option, which is Google Classroom synchronization, you must have to have Zish account using your G Suite email account, or the email account that you are using when you are signing in through your Google Classroom. You have to use that on Zish and Quizalize when you sign up. Otherwise, there will be no synchronization. Okay. you must have to use a similar email account on Google Classroom and on Zish and Quizalize. All right. So these are some tips that I could give you when you are creating classes. Give your students, varieties, different options for them to answer or access your classes. That could help lessen the boredom, on the part of your student when they are experiencing different, experiences. Like let's say almost a week or every other week. It's entirely up to you. But I think this one is really great, especially our students are in the they are 21st century, right? So they are very tech savvy, and they really wanted, almost every day new experiences, right? Now, tips for activity list. I'll show you this later live. Everything that I have discussed, don't worry. I'll be showing you that live on your Zish and Quizalize, okay? So now we actually have activity list on your Zish and Quizalize account. Now, here are some tips about the activity list. From your activity list, you can able to browse your classes or even add a new one or even edit your classes. Okay, so in your Zish profile, you can easily manage your classes and students. This window allows you to add or delete students and classes, merge class together, even move students between different classes and assign the same student to multiple classes. So don't worry again, I'll show you that live in a little while, okay? But these are the things that you should know about the activity list. It is not just a tab that says activity list. Actually, it has a lot of functions for you. From here also, you can able to assign new activity. You can also able to access the Zishab. As earlier mentioned, Zishab is the place in the system that you could get all those analytic data that you need to identify the strength and weaknesses of your students against the curriculum standards and a lot more. Okay, so again, from the activity list, there is a analyze tab there where you could access the Zish Hub. You can also manage the existing resources from your activity list. Again, in a little while, I'll show you that live. Now, on the resources part again of the system, here are some tips. There is a discover part in the system. Yeah, on your account, there is a what we call resources there. Now, when you click on the resources, there is a discover tab there. Now, what you could do with your discover is if you have a premium account, then it is a critical. You tag your quizzes to your state curriculum whenever possible. Otherwise, the student's result data will not populate your mastery dashboard. Again, you can check out what is or what are the things that could mastery dashboard give you, all right, as a teacher. But on the discovery, you can also upload from your resources your quizzes from spreadsheet, and you can use a drop down to organize the searching. From the discover or the discover tab on the resources, you could find more than 100,000 ready-made contents available, or some of you may call it resources, or some of you may call it activities, all right? So from there, you can able to explore all the available, again, activities content for you, and these activities can be modified, even contextualize it, or even tag it to your curriculum standard. So a lot of things that you can do from the Discover tab on the resources. And there is also My Library, the other part of the resources. Here you can preview, you can share, you can assign, you can edit, and even duplicate those resources that are already available in your own library. Okay, My Library meaning this is the place where you can see all of the activities that you have done, that you have grabbed, and it's like your own driver from your Zish account. Okay, so these part of the system again could help you organize all the contents or all the activities that you have given to your students. Create new activities. You can also upload PDF. You can also upload YouTube videos from here. and upload web link. Another tips for resources, we have the activity. You can delete or set it to public or private. Start a class game, share a link, print a bubble sheet. Bubble sheet is designed for the schools that do not have access to internet, or let's say schools that has students do not have available gadgets. Let's say for the online purposes, yeah, there is an offline version where you can print out the ready-made activities or your activities itself, and then give it to your student together with a bubble sheet that is printable from your Quizalize account, and your students can able to answer the activity on that sheet, and even you're offline, you can able to still get the instant score from that sheet that your students answered. Okay, you can also edit questions from here. Hide or show the answers or previewing, align questions to curriculum standard. So these are some tips that I'm going to show you or share with you later on the resources. Now let's go to the account setting. You can manage your account details. You can complete your details on the account details part, change email account, change password, or even the organization. Well, this is also beneficial for you, especially if you are you are about to upgrade your account to premium. It is very important that you know how to manage your account, because there you can do everything like canceling your subscription and all. You can monitor the money that you spend already if you are into premium. And for the schools, for example, subscribe to Zeshon Quizalize, you can able to manage the dissemination of premium accounts with your colleagues and a lot more. Okay, so that is under the account setting. You can also edit classes from there, and you can check out whether you have successfully integrated your Google Classroom from your account setting. And as I mentioned, you can monitor your subscription from your account setting. All right. So before we move on to the second part, let me show you everything that I have said. Okay. So you can easily follow. All right, so go to zish.com. Again, if you are new to Zish and Quizalize, you just simply go to zish.com, and here you will see the student login and the teacher login. Now, if you are an educator, whatever your position is, for as long as you are in the education organization or community rather, you just simply go to the teacher login, and from there you can sign up. It's free when you're signing up. Okay, so since my password is saved in this computer, it directed me straight away to my account. But let me show you the simple steps. So click the teacher tab here, or teacher login. All right, so there you go. The sign up tab is next to the login, and you can, sign up from here. Just complete all the details and make sure to tick this box, and then click the create account. Otherwise, you go ahead and sign up using your Google or 365. Now, once you have the account already, then just go to login and log in your account. If just in case you forgot the password, don't worry. There is a forgot your password underneath the password. So once you click this out, you will be given a link through your email where you can change your password. So once it's done, let's click the login tab. Okay, so all right, so for you to access the other parts of the system, if you are seeing this one, then you have to open one of your classes. Again, for you to see the other dashboard of the system, you must open one of your existing classes. Now, if you don't have any class yet because you are new to Session Quizalize, all right, let's proceed to the tips that I mentioned earlier, which is creating regular classes. How? Just simply click the Add a New Class tab, and there, as you can see, you will get this Create a New Class and sync with Google Classroom. All right. By the way, if your account is not yet integrated, or your G Suite account is not yet integrated to Zish and Quizalize, you will not see this option here. Okay, so that is an indication that you just signed up using a regular email, not a G Suite. But if you are using a G Suite account and you integrated your account to Zish and Quizalize, then you will be able to get this option. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now the regular class that I'm talking about earlier is this one, the tab next to the sync with Google Classroom. From here you can create the name of your class. For example, day 2 class. So it's up to you if you wanted to enter the section name of your class. It's entirely up to you. It's up to your preference. Now the options for the regular classes are found here, right? Just click the drop down button and there you will see all the options that I mentioned earlier. So as I said, you can give your students a variety of options on how they're going to access their class and activities. But remember that you must give instructions still to your students. Otherwise, if they are used to, just using the class code, then they'll get confused of it. All right. So again, remember to always give your students instructions on how they are going to able to access their activities as well as the classes. Another reminder, or just wanted to repeat the reminder, that once you have set this class into one of these settings, remember that this is unchangeable, meaning you cannot change it. Okay, but what you can do is to add a new class or another class and choose the other options if you want to. All right. Okay. Now the difference is when you synchronize it with your Google Classroom and it's successful. I mean, the integration is successful. The indication is you will get this option. And plus, when you click the drop down here, automatically your Google classes will appear here. And just choose whatever classes you wanted to synchronize with Google, or sorry, with Zish and Quizalize, so you could get the analytic data. All right. So that is the first tip that I mentioned earlier. I'll just click the back tab here on the top right, top left corner. Okay. All right. So I have to open one of the classes, for example, this one. Okay. So this is actually the uh, the activities that we have done yesterday, right? Because I gave a little overview of Session Quizalize and we did a role playing. So I'm really glad that some of the participants yesterday um, participated, right? So I mentioned about activity lists and resources, the tips from the activity list and the resources. Let's focus from here. I said earlier that from your activity list, you can actually create another class from here. All right. So how? Under the activity list, you will get the name of the class that is currently open. Now, if you wanted to add a new one, then just simply click this drop down tab here, and on the very at the very last, all right, part of this drop down, you will have the option to add a new class. When you click that, again, you will get this option as similar to what we did earlier. Okay, so from here also you will able to edit your classes and students. Click it, click the option there, and there you could edit your classes. Okay, there are two options for you to edit your classes. One is from the activity list, and the other one is from your account setting. All right, which I'm going to show you later. From here also, you can able to assign an activity straight away. So how to do it? Simply click the assign a new activity, and there you will be directed to resources, which is just next to the activity list. All right. So whenever we talk about activities, whenever we talk about resources or content, we are just referring to one place of the system, which is the resources. Okay. Now, since we have already directed to the resources, let me introduce to you the Discover and the My Library. The difference between these two is when you go to the Discover, you will have access to more than 100,000 ready-made resources. Okay, the question is where the resources came from. The resources came from our users worldwide, meaning all of the teachers who are using the platform, they prefer to share it in public, so everyone can visit it or even use it. All right, so but what is the good thing about here is you can actually modify, contextualize all of the items that you can see from the resources. Okay, let's give an example. If you want to explore the resources that are popular near you, then go ahead and choose from one of these activities here. But for example, you wanted to see if there are activities aligned to a specific curriculum, all right, or curriculum guide. So you have to focus from this part of the resources. For example, let's go to science. Okay, tips for you to easily find activities that you are looking for. Okay, you can actually use the drop down buttons here. You can actually choose activities aligned to a particular curriculum or standard. For example, you wanted to look for California public school standards if there are activities available. In my case, since I am in the Philippines, we are restricted to some of the available contents. But for you guys outside Philippines, you can able to explore the other resources available in the system, like California public schools or Florida something. But since that is a situation that I'll be focusing on Philippines grade 1 to 10. What is the class code, madam? Um, all right, so okay, so once you have chosen a specific curriculum, then you can also pick the subject that you are looking for. Again, this tip could help you easily find your preferred contents or resources. Okay, you will be directed straight to those items that you really wanted to see or visit, for you to maybe grab or modify even more. Okay, so for example, English, let's see, and choose the grade level if you also wish. For example, grade 1. Okay, so as you can see, as you change the settings here, it appears a lot of resources. All right, so these resources are available for you that again you can grab anytime. Okay, now you can as well choose resources type. Are you looking for quiz, or are you looking for a PDF, or are you looking for a YouTube or a web link? All right, it's up to you. So you can use these drop downs here to easily direct you straight to those content that you are looking for. Okay, so I hope that tip helps when you are on your resources. Okay, now on the my library, the difference is my library is where all of the items that you grab, that you created, okay, will be stored in the my library. So whenever you wanted to go back to your resources, just go ahead and click the My Library. This is located from the resources also. Okay, resources, discover or my library. As you can see, when I was on the activity list, I'll just go back on the activity list and I click the assign new activity. Still, I was directed back to the resources because we are talking about activity. So tips for you not to get confused. You must not get confused when we are talking about resources, content, or quizzes, all right, or activities, and so on. So whenever you click those words in the system, that means that you are referring to the resources. Now, from your activity list, there are also some things that you should know, right? Okay, so I mentioned earlier that there is a Zishab where teachers could use for analysis. Now the question is, from here, how could you go to the Zishab, to that Zishab? So this is an example of a class where I assigned an activity and has been used. This was yesterday. So how am I going to access the Zishab? How am I going to analyze my students? Very simple. You just have to click this tab here. Okay, once you click the tab, the Analyze tab, then you will be directed to the Zishab. Zishab was covered also from yesterday's session. So you might want to visit that. The hashtag for the yesterday session is Quizalize week and mastery versus grade book. So you must watch that part because especially the grade book and the mastery is really a must to see, right? If you are an educator. Okay, the tips here is do not forget to visit the three small dots next to the Analyze tab. Why? Because from here, you can right away control or manage, the appearance of the activity on your student. For example, you incorrectly assigned a particular activity to this group of students and you did not able to adjust the duration or the time, right? What happened was your student got confused because they've been seeing let's say two or five more activities assigned at a time. So for them not to get confused, you can go back to your account and click the three small dots here and control or manage those activities that should not appear yet. So you can stop it now, like right now I'll stop it now. Or you can edit also. When you click the edit tab, you will be directed to the activity setting. So this activity setting was also discussed in the yesterday session. So again, you might want to visit that. So you could have a lot of idea of things that you could enjoy from Zish and Quizalize. Zish and Quizalize is not just gamified formative assessment. Okay, so there are so many things that you could enjoy. Okay, especially the analytics side for you as a teacher and for your students as well, because you could help your student, boost their interest to engage to your assessment, and you as a teacher could this could also help you to lessen the clerical task and even make your job easier. Okay, so from here also you can delete this particular activity if you want, or reassign from the activity rather to this class or to other classes. Now from this part, you can right away see the class code. So once you open your class, on the top right corner, right away, you will see the class code. And this class code should be given to your student if, only if, you set a class into a regular class, meaning you just created a regular class on Zish and Quizalize. If you are using Google Classroom, then let your students stay in Google Classroom and you do everything on Zosh and Quizalize, from assigning, creating activities, and so on. Okay, so that is, or those are the things that you must know. I mean, if you are currently using Zish and Quizalize, if you are not yet using Zish and Quizalize, then that's good also that you see all of these things, the things that you can do with Zish and Quizalize. All right, so those are the things that you must know. Oh, let's move to the account setting. Account setting. Where could you find the account setting? Because account setting has functions also. All right. So click your name on the top right corner. You just have to click that, and there you will see the account setting. Click the account setting tab. Okay, so from here you can edit your name, your name, okay, or your school from here, or even the language that you prefer. Okay, if you're teaching, if you are Filipino and you're teaching Chinese, then you might want to use the Chinese letters, okay, for the language. Okay, you can change up those details from here. Also, if you wanted to change your email address, for example, if you are using Zish and Quizalize before and you suddenly realize that, oh, there's a G Suite integration on Zish and Quizalize, I would like to use my G Suite account, then go ahead and click the change email and change your email address. Okay, so that could switch your previous account to your current account depending on the details that you provided from here. Change the password if you want to, then do so from the change password. Edit your classes. There's a lot of things to do for you from edit your classes. You will able to manage your classes. You will able to edit, delete, or even register, pre-register your students in each of the classes. As you can see, when I click on the edit your classes, there are icons here. The icons are the indications of the type of the settings I set for my class. For example, as you can see, this one 6 faith, and it shows at, meaning I use the second option, right, for this class, meaning that my students need to use a user name and password. But if you will see the keyboard icon, that means I have just used the first option, which is just a class code. Now, for the Google Classroom, you will see the icon of Google Classroom there. Okay, so from here, you would understand, just in case your students reported that they haven't able to access your class. So you can go to the edit your classes and check, what type of settings you have given to that particular class. Now, you can click those classes, for example, sixth grade. Let me see if there is something here. So from the editor classes, for example, sixth grade doesn't have anything. All right. So I wanted to add students. Can I do that? Yes, you can do that, or let your students do it. Okay. Again, there are options for you, teachers. You can pre-register your students, or you let your students register themselves when they answer the activity. Now, if you synchronize your classes to Google Classroom, of course, on Google Classroom, you must register your student first. The students must accept your invitation first. Those are the things that you need to accomplish when you are using Google Classroom. But once your students are registered already on your Google Classroom account, and you don't have to do anything on Zish and Quizalize. All right. So all of those students will appear here. But in this case, I use the second option, which is the username and the password. So I wanted to pre-register my student. Just simply click the add tab here, and you can add individually, or you can even use our template. You can just write in or enter your name, or encode their names in the spreadsheet. Where can you find the template? It's in here. Okay, you can just simply click the download sheet there, and you can have the access to it. Now, how it looks, this one. So each of the settings has different templates. Okay. All right. For this example, student's name and surname, and then unique student ID code. So because you just use the class code, then these are the things that you need to write in the downloaded file. But if you are using the other one, the user name and the password, then this is how it looks like when you downloaded the template, this one. So you must give the student name, you must add the student email address, or and the student password. Only if you wanted to register them. For example, you were thinking that this could cost you a lot of time, then let your students do it. Just give them instructions, okay? Meaning they will individually register themselves to your class, okay, when they answer a particular activity, okay? Otherwise, if you want to make it really uniform, just give your students a password and the username, then do it. All right, pre-register them and go ahead and design the username that you prefer if you want to. Okay, so that is the import students from the spreadsheet. Upload it once done, right? Just simply click this upload here and look for the file that you filled in, and click the upload, and there you go. You will see all the names of the students from here. Now, edit tab is where you can rename your class. You can lock it, meaning once you lock the class, even though your students do have access to your class, they will not able to access it because you locked the class already. Archive is different. Archive is like keeping the class aside for now, and you wanted to visit it later. Delete is far different, okay? When you deleted it, do not expect that it will show again later, okay? So those are the things that you can do from the edit your class. Now, Google integration or Google Classroom is here. Simply click the Google Classroom, and here, by the way, this is the default setting of Google now, especially if you are in the Philippines. This is specifically for the Philippines. I'm sure other countries is not expecting this because they are currently having a problem with their G Suite account. So in the Philippines, in the case in the Philippines, they are having a problem with their G Suite account, especially to the public schools. So they're seeing a lot of these things when they go to the Google integration. But one thing is for sure, once you see the remove integration, that means your Google Classroom is already integrated. Now, you can remove this by clicking the remove integration. If your G Suite is not yet integrated, then this is the option that you will get, the use Google Classroom. So if you see that, then go ahead and click that and you will be directed to your email. Okay, you will be asked to which email you wanted to proceed for the Google integration. Then go ahead and do the other steps. I think allow. Okay, so I'm just giving you a quick look on how it works, and you will be asked if you are allowing Zish and Quizalize to access your Google Classroom. Just simply click the allow, and there you go. Again, this is for the Philippines. Most of the teachers in the Philippines, especially public schools using G Suite, they're having a problem here. Now, just in case you are experiencing this, do not get confused of the other email below. You just go focus your attention here to your main Google account, meaning this is the email or the G Suite account that is successfully integrated. Now, how to know it is to going back and add a new class. If you see the synchronize with Google Classroom, then you are all set. Now, this is also where you could see the subscription. As you can see, I can able to access all the billing informations when you swipe in your card. From here also, you can cancel your subscription anytime if you wish. Okay. Organization is especially for the school subscriptions. We are giving them access to their school account for them to be able to give dissemination, premium dissemination to their organizations. So as of the moment, I have 412 schools registered under my account. So click back. So that's it for the tips. All right. I hope you guys, especially the ones that are using the platform already, learned something from the tips. Now let's go to the second part of this session. Be an awesome educator with these tricks that you can do with your Quizalize account. So let's go to the tricks now. What are those? Tricks for the question types. The other use of question types, you can use it for poll or survey, voting system also, even personality tests, meaning Quizalize is not just for gamified activity or not just for formative or summative assessment. You can also use Quizalize for surveys, for voting system, or even for personality tests. How? Well, you just have to use the special codes. Actually, when we say special codes, these are the codes that we use to create different question types. Okay? So one thing is very famous if you wanted to create these type of activities above, using the free text M colon slash slash. All right, so there is another code which is the free text. Just the free text is designed for identification type of question or fill in the blanks. Now, if you wanted to accept multiple or many or more than one correct answers, then you must add M to the free text. So you will say free text M and then followed by the colon and then slash slash. So once you use this code, this could accept many possible correct answer, and this can be also weighted for additional score. So meaning, even though we are just using free text M to accept many correct answers, there is also another option. We still use the free text M, but there is some additional codes. Okay, if you wanted to give additional corresponding scores to those possible correct answer that your students will pick. I hope I have described it well, but don't worry, I'll show you that in a little while. So with just free text M, you can right away use Quizalize for survey, for voting, for personality test. Okay, not just free text M, but also the multiple M. We do have the multiple type of question, right? Just writing the correct answer and then followed by the incorrect answer. But if you want to use the multiple type of question, but you would like to accept many possible correct answer, then use the special codes multiple M colon slash slash. Again, once you memorize or get used to these special codes, you again can able to use Quizalize as for the survey, for voting, and personality tests. The free text is where the students will write their answers. Okay. The multiple M is like a typical multiple type of question, but there are many possible correct answer. Okay. All right, another tricks. I'm going to show you also how to highlight words and even sentence in your question. Okay, so some of you might be using Quizalize for quite some time now, but they don't know about this. So you guys are lucky because I'm going to share you that on how to do this stuff today. All right. So just remember these two symbols when you wanted to highlight words or sentence in your question: the dollar sign, ting, all right, money sign, okay? And also the slash sign. So money sign or the dollar sign specifically is a word, is for a word or a sentence that should be inserted in between the symbol to create new command, which is to italize it. I'll show you that. And for the slash, this can be added to create new command for bold, underline, change the font color, and a lot more. Okay, now, for if you are teaching math, congratulations, because math mode is now simplified for you guys because we do have this extended tool. We call it new equation editor in Quizalize. That means you do not have to memorize all those special characters for you to just get the symbols that you wanted to appear on your questions. We do have this extended tool. We call it new equation editor in Quizalize, this one, and there you could just simply click the tab and copy those symbols and then go back to your questionnaire and paste those copied symbols. Okay, so don't worry, later I'll show you that. So this is the power of math mode plus the special codes. Okay, all right, let's see that in action. Let's go back to our account. Okay, so I was saying about the free text M and the multiple M, that you can use them for other type of activities such as um, creating a poll or survey or voting system or even personality. A personality test. All right, so let's try to create a question using those codes. Okay, so you can able to follow. Simply click the create a new question here. Okay, and if you still remember earlier, that I said in the part one, which is under tips, that you should always align your questions to your curriculum standards so you could able to maximize the benefits of your mastery dashboard. What about the mastery dashboard? Please visit the yesterday session, and there you will find the the detailed information about gradebook versus the mastery dashboard. So from here, how to align your activity. By the way, before I move to creating questions such as the pretext and the other one, you just have to give the quiz title. You have to give the title of your activity and click this tab here underneath the title. And from here, you can able to select the standards. If, for example, you are from other countries and you cannot find your curriculum here, just approach us here on the chat support. Here is a chat support and send us the copy of your curriculum. We will incorporate that to the system and make it available for you. For example, for the Philippines, since I am from the Philippines, I will use Philippines curriculum grade K to 10, and I'll have to choose subject, and I have to choose grade level. Okay, so click the submit tab. Once it's done, That is an indication that this activity is aligned to the curriculum standard. Okay, now let's try to create a question. Click on the add a new question here. And now let's move to the creating free text and multiple M type of question. As I mentioned, yes, you have to use the symbol. For example, the question is, who is your preferred president? Okay, for example, this is just for the school voting. Okay, and in this case, we will be using the free text. All right, free text meaning students will have to write the name of their preferred president. Of course, you have to guide your students. You can actually click the use image here and upload the image of the candidates. For example, let me see if I have an example here for the candidates. So you can picture it out even more. Do I have one? Okay, for example, this one. So you posted a picture. Okay, of course, the picture should also contain the name of the candidates, right? So the question now is, who is your preferred president? Now, you have to think whether you will use the multiple type of question, but accepting many possible correct answer, or you can as well use the multiple M without incorrect answer, that is also possible. Or you can use the free text, meaning the students have to write, the name of their preferred candidate. For example, who is your president? So you have to instruct them. Please write the name of your option. Okay, so the option, for example, it's written here William, Mary Rose, and Rosemary. So you have to set all of these words as the correct answer, because everything that is everything in the options are correct. Okay, you are accepting all these correct answers. So you have to just write free text, sorry, with M, because they could answer multiple possible correct answer, and then colon slash slash followed by the names of your candidates. For example, free text, okay, and then followed by the colon. That should be separated by the colon. Mary Rose, Mary Rose, followed by the colon again, and then the other one is Rosemary. So let's see, okay, how this question will look like. So let's preview the question. Click the student preview, the preview it. Let's see if I've done right. I haven't done this for quite some time. I hope I did this right. Click the start, and there you go. So the question is, who is your preferred president? Please write the name of your option. So the options, okay, I will write Mary Rose. It's accepted. So meaning there are no incorrect answers. So you can use this for voting, as I mentioned. You can also use this for survey purposes, okay? Um, so that is the using the free text. Now let's try the other one, which is the multiple possible correct answer. They just have to pick, the question. Now I will use the same question. I will just simply click the duplicate tab here. So it creates another copy. I don't need to rewrite it again, but I will edit the second question and change it to multiple M. Okay, multiple M. Multiple M. So same thing, you just have to change the code into multiple M. If you want to add more, then do so. For example, John. If you again add more, again, you are free to add more options. Now, as you can see, I did not write any items in each of the incorrect answers, because I just wanted to accept every single answer as correct answer. There are no incorrect. But if you wanted to accept multiple correct answers, but also there is or some incorrect answers, then do so and fill in these sections here for the incorrect answers. Okay. Now, since this is still a voting system that I am sharing with you, so I'll click the student preview. Okay, and click the start, and there you go. So, who is your preferred president? Please write the name of your option. For example, Mary Rose. Okay, so again, every single answers are correct. You are accepting all of them as correct answers. Now, let me show you another tricks here. For example, you are accepting more possible correct answer, but you wanted to give um, additional corresponding scores, depending on what answers your student will pick. Is that possible? Yes, it is possible. How? Again, I'll just go back to multiple M question. Or actually, yes, all right. So you just have to add some details here. Okay, I'll zoom in. For example, William. If they choose William, I'll give them additional 5 points. So how to do it? So William, the category should be followed by the straight line, and then next to it is the points or additional score that you wanted to give to your student if they have picked that particular option. How about Mary Rose? So this can be done, or this can be used for question types that needs to um, accept more possible correct answer, but there is a weight depending on the answer. That's why this is called a weighted type of question. For example, Mary Rose followed by the straight line, and then let's say for Mary Rose, okay, additional 2 points if they have chosen that. So that is very simple to do. We just have to use the straight line followed by the additional score that you wanted to give to your student. For Rosemary, for example, she or he will get 1 point if they have chosen that. Or for John, for example, 4 points. Okay, so let's see if this can work. Um, Pick the student preview. So what I have shown you is multiple type of question, but you are accepting possible correct answer, but this time with equivalent corresponding grade. So this can be used maybe for personality test if you wanted to, give weights depending on the answer. So you can do that. For example, Rosemary. So you check out your Zishab and see the additional score. Okay, that will be added to the score of your student. So another tricks is just in case you're doubting to use Zish and Quizalize because you have some subjective type of activity. So what you can do is give your subjective type of activities with your students, and then let them enter their grades to Zish and Quizalize. How to do it? You can use again the free text M or the multiple M. Okay, meaning, for example, there's a question, what is your score in this particular activity? So you will write the scores that you have given to your students followed by the equivalent additional points. So there, that is the chance for you that you still can able to enter all the grades, even that is a subjective type of activity to Zirch and Quizalize. Still, you will get the analytic data, right? So there are so many things that you can do with the multiple M and the free text M. We have 19 question types in total that you can play around and can be used to other things, such as the things that I have just shown you today. Now, another tricks, okay, the ones that I mentioned, like how to highlight or change the font style of the specific word to give emphasis on it. It's very simple. It's up to you if you wanted to use images in your activity, but turn it off if you don't want to. Okay, so you don't get distracted. All right. So that is the power of the math mode. So you have to click the math mode. And here, as I mentioned, you just have to remember the two symbols if you wanted to highlight a word or a sentence, the dollar sign and the slash sign. Okay. And remember to turn on the math mode. For example, what is the capital of France? And you wanted to give highlight on the word France, of the word France, rather. So how to do it? It's very simple. You just have to enter the word France in between the $2 sign to italize it. As you can see, the France word has been italicized. Okay. Now, another tricks, if you wanted to underline it. Remember the slash? So the first dollar sign should be followed by the slash and then the word and the underline or the command that you wanted to give to this particular section. So underline, and again, oh sorry, we also have to use the bracket, the cursive bracket, this one. Where is it? Uh, okay, the cursive, the open close parenthesis. It's like a cursive thing. So this is how it looks like. There you go. So you have to use the open close parenthesis. Okay, this way. So friends, in between the open close parenthesis, and that should be closed by the another dollar sign. So this is how you should encode that word if you wanted to underline it. Now, how to bold the word France? Very simple also. Just change the word underline to bold. There you go. As you can see, the word France is now bold. Now, can you change the font colors? Yes, you can. Change the word bold into any colors that you are thinking of. The word itself, the name of the color, pink, okay, or blue, okay, or yellow if you want. So that's it. Those are some of the tricks that you can do with this some symbols. Oh, I think it's just pink. How about red? Okay, red. So let's see the other colors if will be accepted. No, I think it's just red, pink, and blue. All right, those are the font colors that you can use with, yes, with those symbols. All right, so those are some tricks that you can use with your for highlighting the words or the sentence. Now, this is the one that I'm talking to or talking about rather with regards to the extended tool. When you creating or when you are about to create math questions, we know that especially the higher maths, um, you need some special characters just to represent, properly the questions for your student. Now, before, when there is no extended tools, it's really very challenging for math teachers, for chemistry teachers, for physics teachers to create questions with special characters. But because there is now the extended tool, we call it new equation editor in Quizalize, it's now simplified. How? You just have to click the questions here. Once you click that, symbols will appear right away, and you just have to click the symbols that you prefer. For example, this one. Okay, once you click that, then you can choose, for example, that one. All right, so this is how it will appear if you use this tab. Okay, if you copy this symbol, for example, you wanted to use that one, then go ahead and copy and open another adding new question tab. Remember to always turn on your math mode whenever you are creating a math mode. So click, or sorry, go back to this section and go ahead and paste that symbol. As you can see, this is how it will appear on the part of your student. Now, you can change the number. For example, 7, you prefer 20. Go ahead and change the number. Okay, so it's now simplified with this tool. Again, let's try another one. So this one, for example, I will remove, okay, this one, mean. So you just have to copy that and go back to your questionnaire. Go ahead and paste the symbol. So as you can imagine, when there was no equation or this tool yet, oh my God, math teachers, physics teachers, chemistry teachers have to remember all of those symbols. But now it's very simple. You can click the pop out or capture image or copy to clipboard if you wish. So that is how to create math questions here. And those are the powers of using the math mode plus the special codes or characters. Again, you just have to remember, if you are highlighting words or sentence, you just have to remember these two symbols, the dollar sign and the slash sign. Also, the open close parenthesis, this should be it's like cursive open close parenthesis. Oops, Let me see. So you won't get confused. I will. Okay, so these are the things that you should remember again to highlight words or sentence or even creating math questions using the extended tools. So that's the power of math mode and special code. We have done it. Now, do you have any questions before we end this session? Hello?
Um, there are two questions that
Yes.
respondents, I mean the participants are asking. The first question is there any integration with Microsoft Teams?
That's a really good question. Yesterday, if some of you attended the session yesterday, I mentioned there that if you wanted to integrate Quizalize to other LMS, is it possible? Like 365? Yes, it is. Okay, so you just have to contact our team for more information.
All right. And then another question is which one is better for students, easy to use? Is it joining by class code or by Google Classroom?
Okay, so that is also a good question. All right. So if your student are already using Google Classroom, that means that they are easy to use the Google Classroom. Then so be it. But as I mentioned, you can give your students variety of options on how they can, answer activity by the use of the regular classes on Zish and Quizalize. So there are options. Class code, just a class code, as I mentioned. So now the question is, okay, or I'll just focus on the regular classes. So which of those options are easy for your students? I think all of these settings are easy for your students to handle, especially if you are giving them, quite good and concrete instructions on how to join the classes. But although class code is the very simplest or the simplest one on how your students can able to access activity, I do not highly recommend it. As I mentioned, in the Philippines, we've conducted a study using Zishab and Quizalize, and we found out in that situation that that particular option, a lot of students are very playful. So what they did is just simply clicking the names of their classmates and answering that activity on behalf of the other student because they're just using the class code. There is no other security. So if you are into security, then go ahead and use the second option and the other one's option or the Google Classroom itself. Again, if that is easy for the students to manage or not is will be depending on how you will give your students instructions.
All right, that is great. And there's one more final question that is the Quizlace application for tests only, or can other things be done inside it, such as presenting, interactive presentations, and it can be called inside other applications such as Sway?
Such as what? What application?
Sway, Sway, and yeah, interactive applications such as Sway.
Okay, I am not very familiar of this way, but as far as I understand the question, this teacher is asking if Quizalize can be used for presentation, right? Or for the lesson proper itself, correct? If I understand
Yes,
it correctly.
yes,
Now the answer is the straightforward answer there is no, because Zish Quizalize is for assessment, for more of analytic analyzation of the coming from the assessment output of your students. Now, as you can see, there are options also on Zish and Quizalize that you can post YouTube videos, even PDF or an article from the web browser. So since Zish and Quizalize cannot be used for presentation, alternatively, you can still post just YouTube as part of your teaching proper or PDF or a web link followed by the assessment. So that is the alternative that you can do with your student. But with regards to the presentation, No, you can't. You can't share slide. No, you can't share slide with them. But you can share that particular file with your student. Yes. For this way, I'm sorry, I am not
All right.
particular to that. I hope I have answered the question.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Is there any more?
So far, only these few questions we have. Do you have anything
Is
else to
there
say or
any other
finish?
question?
No more questions.
Okay. No more questions, right? No more questions, correct? Is that right? No more questions?
Yes. Yes, no more questions.
All right, okay. All right, so if there are no other questions, then I'd like to thank you everyone for today. Again, yesterday's session was also great because a lot of information that you could learn about Zish and quiz, especially the mastery and the grade book. I gave emphasis to that. So you might wanted to visit that video. It's in this channel, inspire.my. And of course, I am looking forward that everyone who are with us today will participate to the activity that I posted earlier. So please participate in the Inspire That Mind activity to win a special coupon gift from Quizalize, not just coupon, but of course the ones that I mentioned earlier. So remember, to sign up for free today, you just have to go to www.zish.com. Please sign up today. It's free. You can explore all the features of Zish and Quizalize for free. And of course, as I mentioned, remember to join to this was this activity for you to get a chance to earn or to get a reward of $50. We will choose two best posts, okay, about today's session, about the things that you have learned, and these are again the mechanics. Okay, you have to sign up to zish.com for free. You have to take a photo or selfie with me and post it on your social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, with the hashtag correct hashtag Quizalize in Malaysia, inspire.my, together with your the lessons that you've learned from the session today. Again, we will pick the best posts, okay, with regards to the learned lesson, okay, and the correct hashtags will get $50 each. Is there anything that you wanted to say, Narimala?
Yeah, thank you so much, Rose, for the wonderful session. You have given a lot of information for our audience today, and I hope many of them will sign up and try to use Quizalize and make the teaching more engaging. And hopefully, the students will get more benefits and get fun of learning through Quizalize. And at the same time, we hope that our participants will be able to, win two most outstanding prizes today. That is giveaway of $50 for each of the participants. I hope they will be taking a lot of selfies with you, and you're going to be very famous on Twitter, FB, and also Instagram.
I am not ready for that, but it's
You're
part
going
of
to
the
be very
mechanic.
famous. We hope that, we hope that so
Oh
we
no.
hope that the participants will help us by posting whatever you have pictures where you have taken with Rose today and any screenshots and help us to promote Quizalize and join this Zis.com in order to make this app a better user friendly, which is user friendly, and you can always use this app at any time around with your students. So especially during this COVID-19 pandemic, which is still still affecting us. So you can still use this in the classroom or even during remote learning. So we truly believe that there are many people will be able to help us to promote this Zis.com and use this Quizalize app. So please kindly post on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram by using hashtag Quizalize in Malaysia, hashtag inspire.my Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel inspire.my, and at the same time, please do not forget to fill in the attendance form with the link that is shown on the screen. But do not forget also to sign in the attendance form by 8:26 p.m. Malaysia time in next 1 hour before we close the attendance form. Make sure to type your names correctly. For those Malaysians, type the IC number correctly, and all of you please type the email address correctly. And we would like to see you all at 6 p.m. Malaysia time tomorrow with an exciting day 3 event that will be on these insights. So we truly believe that you have enjoyed today's session, you have learned a lot of information, and you will be one of the two winners of $50. All right. So see you all tomorrow.
Yes,